All of us know that the parents' love is eternal. It's difficult to even imagine our life without the parents. They always come for help. They will sacrifice everything they have just to make the child happy. They are always ready to stand for their children, especially if there is the least threat for their babies. And it doesn't matter how old their babies are, 2 months old, 7 years old, or even 35 years old. We always will be just the little kids for our beloved parents. Our today's story will be really very touching. 58 years old George Pickering is known for the fact that in January 2015 he was threatening a nurse with a gun, and later on he closed himself with a sick son in a hospital room in Texas. The son was on the verge of life and death. The desperate father believed that by his actions he would save his child, and so it happened. So, what is the reason for such an extreme behavior of a man? It turns out the 27-year-old son of George Pickering suffered several strokes, and because of the last one, the young man fell into a coma. The man remembers the day very clearly. Doctor announced that the patient's brain was dead. But George couldn't believe the news, not only because he couldn't admit the son's death, but because there was something in his heart telling him that they were all wrong. George thought the hospital was moving too fast. What followed was a dangerous and desperate plea from a father to give his son a few more hours to see if he could recover. Pickering recounted that his son had had seizures in the past, so he knew the procedure. He also knew that, the contrary to the hospital told him in January, his son wasn't brain dead. Someone had even already notified an organ donation organization of an incoming donation, but the father's intuition didn't let him down. When he realized that no one really listened to him, nobody was going to give his son the 3-4 hours, he decided to act radically. Pickering pulled out a gun and sat next to his son's hospital bed and began a tense standoff with police. Hospital staff told police that George had been inebriated and belligerent early in the day, and that he had threatened them, which did not help the situation. But George said he felt hopeless and just wanted to give his son more time. "At that point, I had blinders on," said Pickering, who admitted that he was drunk while the incident unfolded. "All I knew, I just needed to have this time with my George." His desperate strategy worked. During the hours in which Pickering refused to leave his son's room, he felt his son squeeze his hand several times on command. With confirmation that his son was responsive and wasn't brain dead, as doctors believed, Pickering peacefully surrendered. His mission was completed. He saved his son from death. Afterwards, George was jailed and faced charges for assault with a deadly weapon. Today, George Pickering III is healthy and fully recovered. The younger Pickering admits there was a law broken, and it was broken for all the right reasons. "I'm here now because of it. It was love. It was all love." To save a child's life, parents can do crazy things. They sacrifice their own lives just to be sure that their child is safe and sound.